Today, I bring to you a presentation about entrepreneurism and entrepreneurship. And I'm going to start by telling you a little bit about my journey. Just like Andrew mentioned, that you have to remember your journey, you have to remember your story. And I want to start it by telling you a little bit about my story. See, my journey to life and its endeavors started at the age of 8 years old, where I was just a little girl in Jamaica, one of the poorest on the street that I grew up on. My mother was a single mom of 3 children, and she wasn't able to financially support us without us participating in helping her to support us. You see, at the age of 8 years old, while my mom was teaching us how to make homemade candies and sell them, how to sell newspaper for an extra $2 in profit, and how to cook in a kitchen in a restaurant to help make extra money. Little did I know that that was the start of my journey to becoming an entrepreneur. See, entrepreneurship is something that's truly, truly important to me. And the reason why it is because it was something that's been instilled in me from a child growing up. I didn't realize that until later on in the years. Now, I'm a mother, a CEO of multiple companies, and I'm an author, a philanthropist, and I've recently been engaged. Now, I want to tell you guys something. Even though life was not easy for me, I wouldn't choose a different path. The reason why I wouldn't choose a different path is this. The woman you see in front of me today, her journey was decided and determined by that young girl at 8 years old. So I wouldn't trade it for anything. I know you have a past as well. I know you have a path that you have traveled to. And I would like to inspire you today to tell you, never regret your path, never regret your past, because it is what is there to lay out for you to follow and create that future for you. Now, I want to give you a little bit about entrepreneurship. I don't know what your circumstances are today and what you are doing today, but if you're in the 9 to 5 world, the path of an entrepreneur versus a 9 to 5 employee is completely different. It's like night and day, and it's a good way. Now, let me explain. See, when you're a 9 to 5 and you're going to work for someone else, you can't determine your own hours. You're being told how to do what you need to do. You've been told when you need to show up to work. You don't have any time with your family, and you will basically need time off if you need to take a vacation. Now, as an entrepreneur, I want to tell you something. Being an entrepreneur gives you the freedom to become who you need to be, to travel the world, to live a luxurious lifestyle if you choose to be, and also to give you more time with your family and your friends. What is the most important asset we all have today? Can you name it? If you may say money, car, or house, well, I can tell you something. You are wrong. The most important asset that we all have as human beings is our time. We can't get it back. We can always buy a new house. We could always buy a new car. We could always spend money on new things and get back money. But one thing I value the most, and you should too, is your time. See, when you share your time with me, as Lauren mentioned in the previous messages, relationship matters. And you spending your time with me, you spending your time with your family, you spending your time with your friends, that is the most important thing and the most important asset that you can have. So why trade time for money? See, being in a 9 to 5 world, you're trading your time for money. You're giving up your freedom so that you can get a little bit of money. Why not learn a new skill so that you can become an entrepreneur. I'm here today to encourage you that whatever you're doing for your occupation, do something that you love. Do something that will bring you freedom, that will bring you joy. Do something that will give you back your most valuable asset and give you the power that you will never need to rely on anyone else. You see, the greatest man in this world is the one who controls his own time. That's the greatest human being. If you have to trade time for money, you are not living the best version of your life. You are not living life how you should live it. Take your time back and take your power back by becoming an entrepreneur. Now, let me give you a few benefits of becoming an entrepreneur. As I mentioned before, it gives you flexible schedule. Who wouldn't want flexible schedule with your family and your friends? To travel the world, to be able to live how you would like to live. Never have to write in a request again for a day off or vacation time or stuff like that. It also gives you the ability to create your career that is aligned with your values. Can you imagine working in a job that you don't like, even the boss? You don't like your day-to-day task? Now, with the ability to create a career that is aligned with your values, that is something that is amazing. You will be able to work and not feel like you're working. You'll be able to live and not feel like you have to get up every day and do something that's daunting. You will be able to create the career that's based off of what you value the most, not what others value, but what you value. See, it's very important to know what you stand for and to be able to live for that. Can you imagine doing a job that's totally against your value system? That's one of the benefits of being an entrepreneur. Then you have constant growth and development. You see, everything in nature grows naturally. Everything in nature flows naturally. So if you are having constant growth and development, what would that be for you? What would that say for your lifestyle? What would that say for people who are actually watching you growing and developing yourself every single day? It is very important that we invest in ourselves. As Lauren mentioned, that whatever goes deep, goes deeper, must come out. With constant growth and development, I can say this to you. You are going to implement stuff in your mindset that's going to help grow you, that you will be able to shine that on your outside. That is a wonderful benefit as an entrepreneur. The next thing they said is that the sky is the limit, but I'm here to tell you something. I've created a quote that says, they said the sky's the limit, but when you're in the sky, there's a sky above the sky. That means there's no limits to life and what you can achieve. Go out there and be the best version of yourself and become an entrepreneur today so that you too can be amongst the stars. Now, another thing about being an entrepreneur, I know there's COVID going on right now. As you see, so many people has been affected by COVID. At least 80 to 90% people has lost their job because of COVID. Now, you would have been in a different boat had you chose to become an entrepreneur. But if you were an entrepreneur before COVID, I promise you it would have been one of the best years yet. But if you are in a 9 to 5 and COVID affect you and affect your job, now is the time, right now is the opportunity for you to take that and become an entrepreneur. You see, the universe works in mysterious ways. COVID may seem like a pandemic here to set us back, but it's actually here to free us and liberate us and put us in our time, space continuum. Meaning that with you being laid off from your job, you have more time to become an entrepreneur. You have more time to study and learn a different craft. You have more time to build a legacy for you and your family. If you die in a 9-to-5 job, you're leaving bills and debts for your family. But if you die as an entrepreneur, your legacy lives on. Another benefit of being an entrepreneur is you get to meet like-minded people. Like-minded people is very important to a quality of life. My mentor and coach, Les Brown, says, you should always associate yourself with only quality people, OQP. Now, it's very important. If you're in a 9-to-5 job, you can't pick and choose your friends. But once you choose to become an entrepreneur, you can choose to be in a circle of people that support your dreams and that support your vision. Only quality people. Now, you will be able to experience unexpected and thrilling experiences around the world. And let me give you an example what that means. I was just recently in Dubai where I got engaged. I know many people say they get engaged in Dubai, but it wasn't planned. But if it hadn't been for my entrepreneurial lifestyle, I wouldn't been able to even go to Dubai, to get a chance to be there, to live and to see the culture and to see the people and to see the lifestyle there. I'm telling you this from the bottom of my heart. The best life you can ever live is one of freedom, one where you get to travel, one where you get to be with the people that you love, and one that is unencumbered. Now, I've just explained to you my journey and how I became an entrepreneur, though there's a lot more to the story. I want to say this to you before I close. If you truly want to become successful in life, then you do whatever it takes. What do I mean by doing whatever it takes? Let me give you an example. I recently heard a story about a person who wanted a Coca-Cola. They look into the fridge, there was no Coke. So they put their jacket on. They look outside, it was snowing. And they walked outside to the store where they will get a Coca-Cola. Once they got to the store did not have any Coca-Cola, so they returned home. The second person who wanted a Coke went downstairs, looked into the fridge. There was no Coca-Cola. It was snowing outside, so that person had to put their jacket on, get outside, went to the first store. There was no Coca-Cola there. They went to the second store a mile away. There's no Coca-Cola. And then they turned around and went back home. The third person, who's very determined and meticulous in what they want to achieve, went into the fridge and looked for a Coke, and there was no Coke. They went outside to the first store. It was snowing. There's still no Coke. They were told that there's another store about 2 miles away. They went there. There's no Coca-Cola. They went about another 2 miles. There's a vending machine, but it was out of Coke. They continue on their journey until they find Coke. I mentioned this story to tell you this. If you are truly, truly desiring to be successful and truly want to make it, you will do whatever it takes to find that Coke or whatever it is that brings you that happiness. My name is Kessa Gooden, and thank you so much. That's all I have for today.